Does CBD hemp oil show up on drug tests? Many people have started taking CBD to help them relax a little or to ease pain and inflammation. Although extracted from the same plant as THC, CBD can't get you high and does not have any psychoactive effects. However, many CBD users are asking themselves the same question. Does CBD hemp oil show up on drug tests? After all, many people work in industries that require them to get a routine drug check, and the last thing you want is to fail one. Read below to answer this question and explore the topic further. Will CBD show on a drug test? Depends on the source. Theoretically, no, it shouldn't show up on a drug test. This is because CBD isn't tested for in most routine drug tests. It's the psychoactive compound THC that is being tested. Most CBD products are made from hemp, which does not contain any THC or any psychoactive compounds. So if you're using hemp-based CBD products, such as hemp oil, then you can breathe a sigh of relief. CBD hemp oil will not show up on a drug test. However, there are some CBD products where the CBD is derived from the cannabis plant and may contain traces of THC. Many CBD products only contain a trace amount of THC, and legally no more than 0.3 should be present in a CBD product. This amount of THC is not nearly enough to get you high and most likely won't show up on a drug test. However, that's not a guarantee. If enough THC is included in your CBD product and you take enough of it, it can show up. While rare, it can happen. That's why it's very important to research the composition of the CBD product and the manufacturer to make sure the product is coming from a credible source. How much THC needs to be present to register on a drug test? This answer varies depending on the drug test that's performed. Keep in mind that passing a drug test doesn't mean that there is no THC in your system, it just means that you have a THC level lower than the cutoff point. Different types of drug testing include urine. This is the most common workplace test for cannabis. For you to fail the test, 50 nanograms of THC must be present per milliliter of urine. Generally speaking, THC is detectable in urine for 3 to 15 days after use, or as much as 30 days, sometimes more, in heavy cannabis users. Blood. This is a highly unlikely test, but still worth mentioning. The reason it's unlikely is that THC vanishes from the bloodstream quickly, usually in as little as 7 days or less. In plasma, it's only visible for up to 5 hours. Legal states for cannabis rate 1 to 5 nanograms per milliliters of blood as an impairment, and states where it's illegal have zero tolerance. Saliva. This is even rarer than blood, so much so that there's no official cutoff for the amount of THC. However, it's been suggested that a cutoff value should be 4 nanograms per mil. THC is only detectable in saliva for 72 hours, but it could be longer for heavy users. Hair. Again, this is not a common form of testing for cannabis, but it is for other drugs. There's no established cutoff for the amount present, but private firms that perform these tests tend to have it set at 1 picogram per mil. It's also detectable in hair follicles for up to 90 days after use. To conclude, if you take CBD hemp oil, you have nothing to worry about when it comes to passing a drug test. There should contain zero traces of THC in the product you use, since THC does not exist in the hemp plant. If you are using CBD products derived from the cannabis plant, there is still a very low chance it will show up on a drug test. However, to be better safe than sorry, stick to CBD products that come from hemp. And always remember to do your research before buying any CBD product. Read carefully about where you source your CBD in order to ensure that it's a legitimate manufacturer, since this is an industry that is highly unregulated.